Unqualified as Fuck is the ultimate podcast for anyone hustling to find happiness in this crazy world. Whether you're deep in a relationship, stuck in a situationship, heartbroken, or just feeling lost, we've got your back.
Join us as we share our own experiences and guide you on your journey of self-awareness and elevation.
We're committed to offering diverse perspectives because we understand that there's more than one way to get shit done.
By the way, we're with the shits.
So tap in, get lit,
and let's get to the bag. Okay, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another long anticipated episode of the Unqualified as Fuck podcast. I am your host, Azar Faraday. This is my beautiful co-host, Jenny B. Thick, and of course, Opulent Six. Okay, and we are going to talk about when do you know.
Wait, pause. Are we not going to just apologize for the hiatus? We gonna act
I was going to ask y'all.
We're going to act like it don't happen. We're going to insult all of our listeners' intelligence and skip over that.
That's an edit.
Let me take it from here.
We only got 7.
No, we're going to keep all this in.
Okay.
Look, guys, we're going to pop, before we jump into today's topic, they was going to skip over, but I ain't going to play y'all like that because I know y'all was like, wait, I ain't heard from this episode, this podcast in 2 weeks. What happened? So we ain't going to say no names, but the Czar got COVID.
Wow, they gonna blast me.
That's PHI, baby. You can't say that.
What's up?
That's HIPAA.
Yeah, that's HIPAA. Excuse me.
I'm no motherfucking hippopotamuses, giraffes. This is
You can't be telling people's medical diagnosis.
Says who? I'm not a doctor.
I didn't want
I'm not a doctor. I can say what I want to say. Your doctor can't tell the people that you was out here coughing.
Well, also my
Okay.
whatever.
But we apologize.
So we apologize.
It wasn't because we don't love y'all.
Correct.
Yeah, it was
She
on
didn't want to be coughing on set.
Yeah, we're going to blame it all on me. That's okay. I'll take the L on that one, but I do apologize, y'all. You know, we missed you, and I really do miss recording.
Yes.
So we're back, and thank you guys for being patient. So today we are going to talk about when do you know to walk away in a relationship? Because there are times in a relationship where you may feel like, wow, should I work on this? Like, is this something that as a partner we should work through? Or is this just out of line and I need to walk away? So let's discuss that a little bit because even for me, I think that now that I'm healing and I'm growing and I'm trying to date again and like mess with people, there are moments where my trauma may make me feel like I need to just walk away, let it go, I'm done. Versus being like, no, this is normal. And this is what people go through in a relationship. And this is for you guys to decide that you can work through this.
Well, let me ask you about your last relationship then,
Yes.
because obviously you walked away. So what were some of the things that happened? How long did it take for you to walk away? Just why don't you take us through in a succinct way, personally, what happened and give us a little of your story, and then Jen, you do the same. And we could just unpack it from there. But I know you got a hell of a story. So.
No, and I don't. And the thing about it is, he loves to put me up last, y'all. It's crazy.
Go ahead, tell us, because obviously you just said you back out there dating.
I'm dating.
All right, so
now.
that means that the last relationship didn't work out.
So just
why
say
didn't
this.
it work out?
I'm a relationship type of person, as you guys know. So for me, I've been in multiple, and I heard that people like when I say that, relationships. So, and that are very long. And I'm gonna keep it real. I knew to walk away after 3 months, and the shit lasted 5 years. So I know for me, like Jen likes to say, if you have to question it, you should leave. But for me personally, I will say this. I was in a relationship, multiple relationships. It's just not one that I'm going to touch on. And in those relationships, there were a lot of things that I felt like, you know, this is not aligning with who I am as a person. And when I start to feel like I have to live double lives is when you know that you need to walk away. For instance, and not a double life of I'm cheating and I'm doing this, but in the double life of I'm a different person when I'm with you than I am when I'm with me. You feel me? Like when I'm really aligned with myself and who I am spiritually and emotionally, I feel different. This is kind of bothering that. And not in a way that's challenging me to grow, in a way that's hurting me, in a way that's harming me. And I always say that, you know, and this is what I've learned from these relationships, and I encourage everyone to walk away. That's why I'm happy that we're having this, because the longer you stay in a relationship that's hurting you, it's like a sculpture. It's the person who makes a sculpture, right? You're chipping away and you never get those chips back. You can make something beautiful again, but those pieces of you are gone forever. And you have to remold and remake yourself into something. And I think for me, as I'm dating and I'm exploring new people, it's really interesting to see how some of those past relationships are being triggered. And I see myself, being challenged emotionally. And that's where I need to decide, like, okay, there are spaces that you can be in with a man where it doesn't mean you have to walk away. Like, this is just challenging me, but it's challenging me in a way where maybe I need to grow from this.
What about you, Jen? What say you?
Well, she's right, because we kind of thought about this topic. So my knee-jerk reaction was like, the moment you ask yourself the question is probably when you want to consider walking away, if not walking away, because, excuse me, life has just kind of taught me that it goes a little bit deeper for me than just like that specific relationship. It goes for like what my newer beliefs about relationships are. Okay. And to me, I don't like the idea. I don't have proof of concept yet. I am very much single and dating, but I don't like the idea of like changing people. I don't like the idea of like having conversations where you're like, hey, like I'm super uncomfortable and you're doing these things. And it's like a lot of push and pull of like what needs to change to make this relationship work. Like I was watching something on TV last night and the conversations are, well, we have a lot to work on. This doesn't fix our problem. Like we could do that, but this doesn't fix this. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, y'all struggling. And I don't know the details of what it is, but like, I remember being that person and I hated it. Like I hate having to be like, we need to talk. Like it makes me sick to even think about like doing that. So to me, I feel like a lot more work needs to be done on an individual level, like who you are as a person, to align yourself with a person that is actually what you want. So the last thing that I'll say, and I was thinking about this, because a lot of people in the comments were like, it sounds like you're promoting selfishness. And I will say that I am, because I believe that everyone should be selfish. And I also believe that the reason they should be selfish is because at least you're getting the real version of them. And if your selfishness does not collide with their selfishness, then you're good. Like it should not bother you what someone else does for themselves. If it does,
then it's not aligning with you. I have a question for you, Six. Since you've been married, obviously, for a long time, does a relationship exist where you don't have to sit down and have those conversations? Like, hey, like I want to talk about this. Like, I don't really see that being a reality of like not ever having to say that.
No, I mean, those conversations, no matter what, and we can go into the nuances of it all, the frequency, but no matter what, you're going to have those conversations the longer you be with somebody. For example, think of just life itself. It keep upgrading and changing, and things are forever changing. You got to relearn TikTok, and you got to relearn this app, then you learn this and this and that. People grow and change too. So at some point, the same person you was with, if you've been with, let's say you've been with a person 20 years, every 5 to 7 years, they kind of change, and they should be, or they not. Anything that don't grow is dead.
Facts.
So you in a dead relationship, right? So either y'all gonna grow together or y'all gonna grow apart, but you will grow. And how you make sure you grow together is have a coming to Jesus moment. You sit down and be like, hey, babe, this is where I'm at now, or this is where I think the relationship should go. This is how I feel. You have to relearn your person all over again every so many years. And without that conversation, that's what makes people throw in the towel sooner or prematurely, because they never had that conversation for them both to say, hey, I'm no longer this person. I'm no longer like that. I'm no longer, like me and my wife, we're close in age. I'm a little bit older, but we're close enough that in this chapter, when we go out and we out, I could just give her a look and she know it's time to go. She ready to go too. I'm like, you ready? She like, I'm ready. But imagine if we were in 2 different chapters. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. But she like, I still want to go out. Me forcing her to go home would have turned into an argument. Like, well, I wanted to stay. Well, next time you ride by yourself, I'm using this to amplify how people change. So you have to have that conversation ever so often. So stand on topic. The fact that we both have, because we used to go out. I used to take her to the club. We be like, oh, you bring your woman to the club? Yeah, my saying is better. So we hang out. But now I'm beyond that chapter. I don't want to go to a club. Let me go to a lounge. Let me go to some candlelight, some live music, maybe hookah. Let me do that. But she on that too. But imagine if I was with a woman that always want to go to the club. Either I'm going to feel away like, tired of her making me go to the club, or she gonna feel away like I'm tired of him never wanting to go nowhere. So I'm using that again to amplify how we change. And as we change, when that change starts to become copious, we need to sit down with our partners and make sure we're on the same page. You can't assume that they no longer a morning person. Facts. You can't assume that they still love clubbing. You can't assume that they still okay with you hanging out with the friends of the opposite sex. You have to find out, did anything change? Or even your iPhone update itself.
Shit.
Even your iPhone, you pick it up, you can hit later only so many times before it automatically change and upgrade itself. So in relationships, you are allowed to renew, renounce, and rejuvenate accordingly. You can change, you can pivot, you can say, hey, here's the new terms and agreements. When y'all met year one, you're not held or become a prisoner to whatever that setup was for perpetuity. As you grow, you allowed to make changes that you both agree on. So that's
I want to say this. Now I want to say this really quick because I want to clear the air. When we talk about walking away, let's just assume that everyone knows like domestic violence or, like abusive, stuff like that, abusive, mental manipulation, narcissistic, gaslighting, all that stuff. Like we know, like you probably are struggling with walking away. I've done that before too, but we know that you need to walk away. I want to more touch on like, what are these things that are not so out loud that we know this is a bad relationship where we should be like, damn, like if the chemistry is not there, is that something that you decide to build and work on? Because I've had relationships where honestly, I feel like I'm not vibing with you. Like, we just are not a vibe. Like, I'm not laughing. I'm not vibing. I don't feel like we're connected. Like, I can go, if I like a man, I could drive around with you all day, run an errand, and it's not even my errands, and I'm happy. But if I'm not feeling that with you, does that mean I stay and I try to force that? Or I try to see maybe I can make that work? Or is that a time for you to say, hey, like, this is not a vibe anymore. I just don't feel it. Because
let me chime in. You got to be careful that you're not addicted to incremental happiness. Like you just need that dopamine to keep firing. Where the vibe at? Where the vibe at?
That's the truth.
Because it takes more than
it takes more than.
Let me say, you have to make sure that you're not addicted to incremental happiness, where you need to keep chasing the vibe, and it don't feel the same in the beginning. It don't feel the same. You're chasing dopamines. Okay, what I'm saying? And it takes more than love to be in love. So you can't just isolate that and then use that as the metric system for we not in it no more, because there's going to be times in real relationships you're not vibing. Real relationships, you guys are not in the shower making love. Real relationship, the guy is back there cold, not getting no water. She's hogging all the water.
True.
Stop looking
not
at
sexy
TV
at
I
for
don't want
relationships.
Shower sex.
And let me say this since we're on the topic, because men and women, and I love this, Jen, Azar, I want you guys, just how you just talked about like what, and ain't no right or wrong, will make you pull away from a relationship. Say that shit. Tell me again. But I want to highlight this. What makes a man want to leave a relationship is different from a woman. So we should have right now, we're going to split this conversation up, because she talked about domestic violence. Like, yo, listen, of course, if it's domestic violence, ladies, you got to go. And if he's mentally abusive, you got to go. And yeah, that's all fine and dandy. And that's more ubiquitous when a man is putting his hands on a woman and such and such and such. But let me say this, fellas, you have to leave if she's financially abusive. See, that's a thing. Thanks. Financial abuse is a thing. We live in an era right now where a lot of women do not want to make a vital contribution to the success of their own relationship. They want the man to accrue most of the bills. Anytime there's a problem, he has to do everything, and she doesn't really want to do anything that adults do.
Why are you spitting bars like this today?
I'm just saying. I mean, we talking about it because you was like, of course, if you getting beat on. And I'm like, but wait, that has nothing to do with men. We feel differently. That's why I said, let's split this conversation.
No, I love that.
Because there's women out there that will walk away from a good man talking about, oh, he wanted to go half on rent. He wanted to go half on.
Facts.
Like, that is, you know how fatuous and name that is to say he wanted to go half. First of all, you are responsible for 100% of your life as an adult. 100% of your problems, 100% of your bills, 100% of your stress. And you mean to tell me you had a man right there like, I'll take half of that from you. And you was like, that ain't good enough.
Right.
Damn.
I want you to take it all. I don't want to have no responsibility as an adult. And that is financial abuse. And that is feminine manipulation and abuse. So then, fellas, you need to walk away. So I want to say that. I'm not turning it into a competition, but I would like to hear what makes a woman walk away. Because if we know she's feeling this, we know how to pivot. We can look for the signs and be like, I'm going to pivot away from that. And if y'all know what men are looking for, y'all will pivot away for that.
I'm curious to know what men look for, because I think with men, like I've never been broken up with, you know, and they always say like men don't break up with women. Like men will stick that shit out to the core.
True.
They'll start to treat you bad. They'll start cheating on you and doing shit for you to break up with them. But they don't really break up with you. If you notice that, like a man it will have to be like.
Because for the most part, it takes men a long time to decide to be in a relationship. Women are a little faster to get in a relationship than a man. And we'll finally be like, yeah, you my girl. Of course I'm your girl. We've been together 3 years now. Well, we get around.
We're just committed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what you been doing?
Yeah, exactly. So by the time so long to get in it, our heart is in it in a different kind of way. That don't necessarily mean that we always behave in the way we should, but that just means it's a little bit different for us.
I can see that. We move a lot quicker. I mean, I've been in relationships where both men and women, we move quick, but I move quick as shit. Okay. My ex asked me to be his girl on the first day we met. And I said no, but we ended up moving really quickly. But I will say this. I think for me specifically, things that make me leave are about damn near nothing. And that's the problem, okay? Because I'll stick that shit.
You said damn near nothing.
Like, it has to be so crazy that everyone's telling me family, friends. Like, I want to not be this way, and I'm going to work on that moving forward. I'm going to work on walking away because I see that it has damaged me. And it has hurt me, even for new people that really deserve my love and get to experience my love. Like, I want to allow people to have the full version of myself. So I want to be able to walk away a lot quicker. But I can be honest and say, like, no, it took a lot for me to walk away. Finally, obviously, I walked away, but it just took a lot.
But that's a reflection, I want to say, because there's a lot of women that probably feel and share that sentiment.
Yeah.
That's a reflection of your self-esteem and your self-worth. You get what I'm saying? When you don't truly love yourself, you're going to spend a lifetime of connecting with other people that don't love you as well. You get what I'm saying? But the more you love yourself, the more esteemed you are. And then the criteria of what it takes to even be in your orbit will change.
It's changed.
Like, to even be my friend, to even speak to me.
Let me say this, right? So I've been working on loving myself, and how I feel about myself has skyrocketed. Like, I know my value is like, woo, you're lucky to fuck with me. But it's funny because look at it in this way, and this is for the women who are struggling, right? If you are giving yourself 20% of love, and that's all you give yourself, right? And a motherfucker comes with 25% or 30%. Oh, don't let them come with 35. When you deserve 100, you're going to be like, oh my God, this nigga is the shit, right? When really in reality, it's like, this nigga's giving you 35% of his love, bare minimum. But that's only because you're loving yourself at 20%. So anything more than 20% seems like it's a lot. And then you go down that road with that person who gave you 30% and you realize, wow, I deserve so much more than this. Why is this person treating me this way? Why are you treating you this way? Why are you allowing that behavior? But if I love myself at 100% and someone comes with 30, I'm going to be like, boy, if you don't get up out of here with that 30%, like, that's going to feel crazy to me.
Yeah.
So you have to love yourself. And I think when people say work on these relationships, working on these relationships means working on yourself. And I've learned that now. There's nothing that you can't do if you're not working on yourself. Like, I have to learn to love me. Like, if I'm having an issue in my relationship, it's usually a reflection of something that's triggering me, and I need to work on that, heal that, and then you'll be able to see more clear, like, if this is even aligning with what I want.
Right.
I have not been in a relationship since like 2015.
Damn.
Damn.
Sorry, that's gonna spike like a bova. But yeah, because that's very intentional and very purposeful. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship that sounds like what y'all talking about. Sorry.
Have y'all been in a situationship?
Well, can I?
You know what? But
let her say. Let her say.
Yeah, I'm gonna just. No, it's cute. I'm just because like I'll speak about myself in two versions. The person that was in relationships, like I've dated, let's be clear. Like I've dealt with men, but I have not committed since 2015. So, but what would make me walk away was just like frustration. I would take too long. It was always obvious when it was obvious, pretty fairly on. And now those are things that I just don't ignore anymore. So I think that's what's kept me out of a relationship because I'm just like, I know myself, I'm not going to like that. I know myself, I can't settle on that. I know myself, like I would rather be single, 100%, than be like, well, to be in a relationship, I have to do this. Like, I don't know. I'm not there yet. I might be old with cats. I might be 60 with cats, but like, I don't know. I just don't want to do it. Like no part of me wants to like, quote unquote, settle in that way to make a relationship work. I just don't subscribe to it.
Well,
like,
don't settle. You don't have to settle.
I agree.
You just haven't met the man yet that makes you want to do those things. You will. That don't mean he don't exist. That don't mean you don't want to. You haven't met the man yet. And I believe because fundamentally as men and women, we're looking for different things in a relationship that keep the relationship healthy and long lasting, like a car. What to keep a car long lasting where you can have it for a long time? You got to make sure that the engine is good. You got to make sure that your tires are good. And you got to make sure that the alternator and all that stuff under the hood is good.
Basically, you got to buy a Honda.
No, wait, listen, I'm going somewhere with this. If those things are in place, that car will probably last longer. If the tires are always good, you ain't always on a flat tire, messing up your axle, messing up your master cylinder. The engine is working just fine. The transmission is working just fine. That car, if you take care of it in that way, you'll have it for a long time. Not in a way of, oh, well, I get the seats vacuumed. That has nothing to do with the engine. Yeah, that's cool that you got nice seats, but the car hasn't had a oil change and blah, 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 blah. It ain't gonna work with these pretty seats. So you have to know what does it take to actually make this thing keep going. So when it comes to women, the most ubiquitous thing y'all look for in a relationship is really the 3 Ps that will keep that relationship going. What are those 3 Ps? Protection.
Penis? Oh.
Progression.
This broad. Penis.
You said P.
She's like that P, pushing that P. Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I thought you were going to say penis.
I was not going to say penis, but
protection,
progression, and passion. Now, inside of those 3 categories, protection, women want to feel secure. Big, strong man, muscle-wise, and big, strong man financially. That's how they feel protected. Because they don't got to worry about this and worry about that, and the bill's going to get paid, or we're going to lose the house, and they ain't got to worry, what if somebody break in? They want to feel protected, and not just on that level, on the intangible level. Do I feel important? Is he making me jealous? Their feelings got to be protected. They got protection.
Facts.
Then progression. What are we? What are we doing? They don't want to feel stagnant. They don't want to feel stuck. Then when it becomes too banal, they'll check out mentally. They'll physically be there, but mentally they'll check out. Then passion. That's what when she mentions the vibe, it's really the passion of the relationship.
That's what I like.
Do he still smack you on the butt?
That's what
Is
I
he
like.
still popping up with food at your job? Like, hey, babe, is y'all still flirting over text? It's the passion. So I say it again. Women will to keep the relationship going everlasting from y'all point of view, it's the 3 Ps. Protection, progression, and passion.
Facts. And not penis.
Well, passion is penis.
Thank you.
It falls in, but listen, it falls in that category.
You want to know what's so crazy that you say this though? Like we could call my sister up right now. I used to always call her in one of my last relationships, and I used to be like, oh, like he just doesn't smack me on the ass. Like, and I couldn't describe what I needed from that, but I'm like, I want to be in the kitchen cooking. You're smacking me on the ass. And she kept me like, girl, what is your obsession with getting smacked on the ass? And it's like, it's not about that though. It was about the simple fact that there's so much passion when you feel that with someone. Like you're coming in, you want to smack them on the ass, you want to grab them, you want to kiss them, you want to love them. Like, I love that energy. Like that energy to me is like, oh my God.
Well, it's the battery of the relationship, like a car. I like
That's
using
what I'm
that analogy because for the most part, we all have driven a car and kind of know the basic functions.
Yeah.
So that passion is the battery of the car. You get what I'm saying? The progression is the wheels.
Yeah, facts.
You get what I'm saying? And the protection is the engine. If you can't protect, if the engine don't work, the car ain't going nowhere. If you are financially derelict and physically, like you can't protect.
It's so funny you say that because when I first started driving, I used to be like, the car needs more than gas. Like I used to really just be like, there's gas in it. Why is it tripping? Like I was so like unaware.
And now imagine that on a relationship level.
Right.
Like why is this man tripping?
Yeah.
What does the man need? We talked
Look
about
under the hood. It's a lot of shit.
Do y'all know
on.
what the man needs?
Yes.
Would you like to know?
Can I guess?
Yes.
Can I? Okay, you want to say it or can I guess? I like guessing. I'm like a good guesser.
You love to guess.
I do love to guess.
Go ahead.
It's the 3 R's, but go ahead.
Respect, reciprocation,
and rumpus.
And real pussy.
Rumpus.
I said rumpus.
Hold on.
Okay.
Rumpus.
Respect. For sure. Respect is on there.
Respect is on there. I feel like reciprocation is on there, but I could be fucking.
You know what? You're messing with me because I've been your friend forever and it's been like F. It's been fun, fit, and feminine.
That's what we look for in a woman. Period.
Okay.
Now we're talking about the nucleus of, so what we look for will ignite intangibles inside of us.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the intangibles inside. Like when you in love, for example, so you understand what I'm saying? When you're in love and you're like, I love him. He's not whispering in your ear, do you love me? Say you love me. No, it's something inside. He did something that moved something inside of you. But he had to press a button that make you feel that way.
Got it.
So we're talking about the buttons inside of us. What are those buttons that make us feel like I want to be here? I want to go hard for her.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought you wanted to.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Well, you threw me off with the R's. I don't know.
Respect,
go ahead. I have a feeling respect is on there.
And the real ass bitch you out of there.
Relentless.
Real.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Respect, reciprocation, and rejuvenation.
Okay.
I like the rejuve. Yeah.
Let me say this. So men
like that.
We associate love with respect.
100%.
If we don't feel respected, we automatically don't feel love.
Right.
And we'll tie it together and be like, nah, you don't really love me because we don't feel respected.
Right.
And that's the quickest way to lose him. Reciprocation, if we feel that we're jumping over mountains and swimming through oceans, but you won't even tiptoe through a puddle for us, we'll lose that joy and glee that we have when doing something for you. See, when I do things for my wife, I do it with joy and glee. It's not done with disdain in my heart. Like, here, man. Like, it's not done. It doesn't feel like a chore. Yeah. Like, here, I'm doing a chore. I do it with joy. Well, it's probably happened because the guy didn't feel no reciprocation.
Oh, he didn't feel that. No.
He didn't feel like you were reciprocated or respected. So he like, I'm doing it, but it's a chore. It feels like a chore. So those 3 R's.
I was on a dating site. Real quick, I was on a dating site and a guy said, acts of service seems like a chore. And I was like, you don't want to match with me, bro.
Yeah, because
like, you don't want to match with me.
With joy.
You'll never do it. Exactly. So I'm
glad.
So the 3 R's that men are looking for is respect, reciprocation, and rejuvenation. We associate love with respect. If we don't feel that high quality of respect, then we don't feel like you really love us. So then that's going to take the joy and glee out of us doing anything for you. If we don't feel no reciprocation, we like, wait, I'm doing all this and doing all that. She can't even do this. Then we won't have joy and glee, and everything we do for you will feel like a chore. And then even equally important is rejuvenation. We need somewhere that we can extract peace and power so that we can go back into this world, get up the next day and go conquer the world and bring it back to your foot.
Do you believe that women multiply whatever you give them?
A good woman, not all women.
A good woman.
Yeah,
let's just
a good woman will multiply. Yeah, but see, a man will spend anything on a woman that will multiply his worth. It's an investment. So a woman that'll multiply a man's worth, he'll go through hell and hot water with her. You know what I mean? But a bad bitch is a bill. A good woman is an investment. There's a difference. So don't be out here, guys, like, oh, she gonna multiply my worth. I'm gonna buy her this, buy her that. No, sir. When y'all first meet, don't try to go big to impress her. Play little to test her. Y'all be giving too much too fast. Then she gonna fall in love with your hand and not your heart, buddy.
And you know what else I'll say? Is we're training people to love us wrong sometimes. So for instance, right? Like if you as a woman want to play it super cool in this relationship, when you first meet this guy and you're like, okay, we're dating, I'm cool. But you know you're someone who really needs reassurance. You're someone who really does want to talk to this person every day. You're someone who needs those things. What's happening is you're training this person to love you in the way that you're acting. So he feels like it's okay. She doesn't need that. I don't have to call her every day. I don't have to talk to her. I don't have to give her reassurance because she's good. You feel me? And if
but how do you ask for that?
You show that. It's more of an action thing, right? So it's like, or you can say like, babe, I didn't hear from you yesterday. I didn't love that. Like, it makes me sick too. But it's like,
yeah, you do have to know.
You have to say that.
Notify.
You have to notify this person because men are like, my sister always taught me, like, with a man, you have to train him how to love you with anyone.
Well, I was going to say, yeah,
it could be anybody, right? Like, with me, you guys are trained to love me in a certain way. Okay, Zara needs to hear this. She needs to hear this. She doesn't need this. She's okay. And I will tell y'all, like, hello.
But that's a great thing. That ability to say what you need.
Yeah.
Is vital to having a happy, healthy, fruitful relationship.
Yeah.
Because I have to tell my wife what I need because what I need changes. And she'll be like, wait, you a morning person. Now you a night person? So I need to, right? And so it's communication because again, when we talking about being in a relationship and when to leave, no one can really answer that.
Right.
But I'm going to say if either y'all going to grow together or y'all going to grow apart because anything that ain't growing is dead. And there's a lot of people in dead relationships. Like how y'all been together 10, 15 years, 8 years and ain't accomplished nothing great. You could have been regular by yourself. Yes. If you going to team up with somebody, you're supposed to be doing some spectacular shit out here. The quality of your life should be better than the quality of your life would have been as a single person, if you team up with somebody great and y'all have those dynamics, so you can measure the success of a relationship and simply leave the relationship for being stagnant. It ain't that he beat you. It ain't that she don't respect you. You could just be like, we're not winning in life together.
I think that it's harder. I think a lot of people have to hate their partner in order to walk away. And I say that because I have been one of those people like, man, I wish he would just cheat, do something crazy because I just don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And I don't have the strength to say, wow, this is a good man who's right here. He wants to love me. He wants to be with me. And I'm just saying like, no, because it's simply not helping me or challenging me to grow. I don't feel like it's aligned with me. That is enough, like that's enough to walk away. But I think that sometimes I specifically, and I know a lot of people can resonate, feel guilty for that. And I think that a lot of men feel guilty for that because I think that men, like I said, stay much longer. I think we always glorify how women stick it out, but men are unhappy too. Men be super unhappy in relationships and they stick it the fuck out.
There's like a statistic that women, like men, like never file for divorce.
Yeah, I saw that.
Men mostly don't.
Really stick it out. And I think
but women will argue that it's because they, that they put up with more than the man does. But
we do put up with a lot, but we choose to. But at the same time, men put up with a lot of stuff too.
I gotta say this. I'm the only man sitting here. A lot varies from person to person. Everybody got a different metric system of a lot. Because you say women put up with a lot.
Like, I don't think that,
put up with a lot.
I think so.
First of all, I'm not saying that. Let me clear the air. I
don't think a lot of women understand like what. That's why I'm trying to have this conversation and unpack it. Like, what is a man looking for? What is his experience in a relationship? Like, what does he value most? What does he hate less? Like, what is it? Because to say women, but men, again, if he feeling financially abused, that's the thing, and we never really talk about that. A lot of women in this era are lazy. They don't want to make a vital contribution to the success of their own relationship. But I've been with this girl, I love her, but she being lazy, she being stagnant, and I got to pay for all the bills, and I got to take the blame for everything going wrong. Men go through stuff too.
But
this world
100%.
cares less about men.
Yeah.
If a woman has a child and the child is wearing Payless shoes, everybody say, look at her, she doing the best she can. If a man has a child and he wearing Payless shoes, they say, look, he can't even take care of his kids, can't even buy him proper clothes. Look at this dude.
True.
A man
can't do nothing wrong, right?
A man leave his wife because he's unhappy and take the kid. Yeah. Look, you gonna take the kid too? You gonna leave her and take the kid? If he leave her and leave her the kid, you gonna leave your family?
Like you can't win.
You can't win.
You can't win as a man.
As a man from a social construct, like the standpoint, like socially, it always is going to look bad. And that's one thing that we carry with us everywhere we go. We know we're getting scrutinized for everything we do on a different level, more amplified than what a woman can get away with doing the same thing. I'm not here to cry or bleat about that. That's just the way it is.
You know what
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Two things that I want to say about this. Number one is like, I feel for men because even with a breakup, right? Like, okay, women, I can call you, cry, delusional, go crazy on the phone, talk about all of this stuff, call you every day, you know what I mean? And then I can get past it. Like, okay, I've let my shit out. Like, I've cried about it every time I wanted to cry. A man can't just be calling up people crying and doing all that. That looks crazy. And then, like, even for instance, I was talking to someone recently and we were talking about like expressing, being more expressive and things. And he was like, you know, I was like, do you feel like you're expressive? And he was like, well, no. He was like, but I'm a man. Like, you say you would want to hear like my problems and this and that, but like you don't. Like as a woman, the more I talk to you about what's wrong and this, the more you'll like not respect me as a man.
That's true.
And it's like you think you're like, no, babe, but I want to know. But it's like, you say that, but mentally you don't realize that that's gonna start to be like, ugh.
Yeah, you gotta look at him differently.
And it's unfortunate.
He's a smart man to know that, because most men would inadvertently fall for that trap.
Yeah.
And it's not a trap that you setting on
aware of.
that you're aware of, but he'll start to tell you and he'll lose your respect.
Facts.
He'll lose your respect. So again, that's one more element that we have nowhere. And then now imagine that we can't really say how we feel. We holding it in, internalize it, trying to process it to go be these protectors. But we come home and there's nothing feminine there waiting on us.
Yeah.
There's no love waiting on us. There's no hug. Hey, babe. There's no love. It's just like business as usual.
Yeah.
The minute he go find the slightest intimacy,
it's over.
It's over, because she is loving on him, feminine with him, making him feel good because he ain't gonna talk about his problems, but you can make him feel good still. You don't know what's going on in his mind. You know what I mean? But all you know is if he's a good man, that the water's running, we going on vacations, I got cars, I never worry about, but you don't know the battle he's going through. He's not gonna tell you. He really ain't gonna tell his friends to that extent either, because we don't got nothing for him. What we gonna do? You gonna be like, oh yeah, man, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
So men battle silently a lot, and that really does make me feel for you guys.
But that's why women are the pillars of every relationship, every household, every successful man. A man's success hinges upon the woman that he tethers himself to, period. Because the right woman, you got to be, to go out here and conquer your dreams. Deal with no, failure after failure after failure. To deal with every day. So if your dream is here and you down here, until you reach it, every day you feel like a failure. Every day you get up, you give it your best, and you still fail until you reach your dream. To go through that and then come home to no love, come home to disrespect, come home to a bunch of questions, come home. That is, how is he ever? He don't even have the energy to get up tomorrow and go try again. I'm going to just get drunk a little. I'm going to just hang out a little.
You just made me realize that someone tried to have that conversation with me and it went over my head. Like, he literally was like, I hear no every day. I get turned down for everything. Like, I had to work, I had to do. And I'm sitting here like, me too, though. In that moment, like, I'm not going to lie. I was just like, are you trying to have an excuse for being an asshole? Or like, it didn't hit till now that he was just trying to let me know.
Trying to get you to be feminine and be loving.
Yeah, but
to be his peace and power.
But I was in my masculine too.
Right, but see, and then how did that work out?
It's
never gonna work, and most men ain't gonna say this. So if you tuning into this podcast, please understand you're gonna get game and gems that men are not really gonna say, but now you know it, and you'll go, I see what's going on. Because
I think it's about timing too, though, right?
Well,
it was the timing.
So the most important thing to any relationship, business, platonic, romantic, here's just the key to success: timing and tonality.
Yes.
When you say something,
and how you say
something.
Yeah. Because I think
that's more important than what you're saying sometimes.
Yeah. Because I think that's what threw me. Because I was just sitting there like, are you trying to make excuse for being mean or being disrespectful versus trying to get me to resonate with like the fact that you're going through something? Because it was the timing. It was in an argument. And I was just like,
so his timing, when he probably just was like, look, I'm exploding, it's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it came out and that wasn't the right timing, but it was still the right message.
You know what, too? It's like I look back on my past relationships and I realize like there was a lot of moments where I think women, we like to victimize ourselves a lot. Like, oh my God, and we be going off on these men, and men don't really say that much to you because they know if I say this one thing, she's gonna lose it. Like, you know what I mean? So that you guys can't really express yourselves. And then what I realized, and I did a lot of reflection on just relationships I've been in, and I realized, you know, as much as maybe this person hurt me or whatever the case is, I've hurt people too. And I have been in spaces where I could have created a safer space and a better platform for someone to express themselves to me or to understand that, hey, this person is trying their best. And that's why I always say, don't stay in relationships that you're not equally yoked, because this person is probably giving you every single thing they have to give. It's just not on your level. It's not enough for you. So you're breaking down this person, and it's messed up because they're trying their hardest. Like, I've been in relationships where a man's like, I've given you everything I have. And I'm like, damn, you know, like, it's just, I hit it though.
Damn.
Like, it's just like, damn. I simply said, damn. No, but for real, like that, you know, and it hurts because I literally cry sometimes thinking about that shit. Like, I cry because like some of the most like deepest moments of my life is seeing a man cry, because it's only happened a few times. I'll never forget it. Like, I've never seen my dad cry, nothing, but I've seen one man cry before, and it just broke me down, and I'll never forget that feeling in my life. It hurt me. And then the guilt of feeling like, damn, like when I hurt a man, I don't know, something about me hurting a man, it just hurts me so much. I don't ever want to hurt a man, like, cause I don't.
Damn,
like,
her points just went up. All the men gonna be like, what's her at? I never want to hurt a man.
I don't.
You don't
I
hear
really don't.
a loud, no, you don't really hear a woman ever say that. I was like, damn, Lazar.
I would say I never want to emasculate.
Like, I never want to hurt a man.
I feel like that's the same
I
thing.
don't. And when I think back of the hurt, even with a man who's hurt me and broke me down and did all this, when I think about hurting this man or any man, it just really makes me
Well, let me say this. You never, and I've had to have this conversation with a couple of clients too. You know, if y'all don't know, for those who just now tuning into the UAF podcast, I have my own fitness company. I train 99.9% all women. But I was talking to one of my clients, and I was telling her, you know, she was having friction with her dude. I'm like, look, a good man, you still have to talk to him a certain kind of way, even if there's some friction. I said, if you had a flat tire, would you walk up to your door and then start kicking on your car door? And she said, no. I said, yeah, that would be dumb. It's a flat tire. Why would you now put a dent in your door? If your man make a mistake, that's a flat tire. You can put air in it. But if you start talking to him crazy, now you kicking, now there's a dent in your door too.
Stupid.
Like, why would you kick your own car? Yeah. That is your man. Whether he made a mistake or not, that's your man.
Right.
Why would you? So by kicking him, that's just an analogy, using fucked up words, talking to him crazy. Yeah. Now there's dents. Now there's things that's going to live inside of him and take up residency in his heart for a long time over a mistake. Why would you do? Again, would you kick your car if it had a flat tire? Just start kicking the door? No. People are like, why is she kicking her own? Why would you talk to your own man like that?
And that hurts. And you know what? This is the last point I want to make. This is what my sister taught me, and I've said this before, but I look at it like this, right? And this is what helped me. Every single time you say something crazy to your partner, right? And women, we pop off. We'll say something so disrespectful to a man, that's like taking a bite out of an apple. The apple does not grow back. And every single time that you say something, it's another bite until nothing is left. And you just broke down this man completely. And now he feels demasculated. He doesn't feel appreciated. And guess what he's going to do? Any glimpse of an energy or a vibe or an ego stroke that anyone else is giving him, he's going to go mess with that. Because every single time he comes into your home, you're talking about, like, no one wants to get.
And I hear that. Six, look who you left me for.
Yeah. Every time.
And the first thing I go is like, she probably made him feel so manly.
Right.
He felt so much.
And guess
like
what?
a
I'm
man.
gonna look good and make you feel like a man. So get into it, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But anyways,
I think we need to have a part 2 of this conversation. I think you guys need to send us some emails, DM us some questions, and let's go over those 3 P's and those 3 R's together. So this would be part 1. Mm-hmm. We ran out of time. Let's really unpack this thing. When is it time to walk away? Because you might be walking away when you should just be adding engine oil.
Ooh, you would say that for the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you guys being patient with us. And we are looking forward to the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am your host, Azar Faraday. We all love you, and holla back, holla front.
All right, guys, that is it. We have ran out of time. But if you like what you heard or disagree with what you heard today, please let us know. Follow us on Instagram at the UAF Podcast, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube, the UAF Podcast. Again, we always read your comments and we always respect your perspective. Thank you for tuning in. This is the UAF crew, and as always, we are not sorry.